The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Hit the music.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report through my YouTube channel, and I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. And today's topic is about the Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker lights out unsanctioned match. I saw a lot of praise on this match, and my question is, what other promotions take that wrestling division, or the women's wrestling division, to that level that we saw on Wednesday? Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people probably saying, WWE would do it and other promotions would do it. Well, let's put it this way. The women's division right now in WWE was the woman to watch back, I say, about 6 years ago. The women's revolution was out there, hard and strong, as far with the four horsewomen, who was Becky Lynch, Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, and that was the biggest talk back when these girls were NXT. After that, the women's revolution or evolution has been stalled. I mean, the only woman at that present time before this happened on Wednesday that had opened a door, but left like a piss stain on it, was Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard did something that no other female wrestler did, and that was step into the ring with a man and had a kind of a hardcore type of wrestling match, and that's when she wrestled Sami Callihan back at its anniversary. And I know before all you WWE marks come and jump on me and be like, well, Chyna was in the ring with Jeff Jarrett. Let's be realistic. Jeff Jarrett is a good wrestler. Chyna was a good wrestler, but nothing the way what happened on Wednesday. Okay? Nothing like what Tessa Blanchard did. Tessa Blanchard had a hardcore match with Sami Callihan, and this man wasn't even soft with her. It's an anniversary of 2 years ago. Okay? And yet, and you could compare it with Chyna and Jeff Jarrett, but you can't, because that match with Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard was on another level. So at that time, Tessa was the woman who was opening doors for female wrestlers to step in the ring with men. But here's the black cloud part that she left behind, was when she won the Impact World title, I believe was from Sami Callihan, if I'm correct, a Hard to Kill last year, and then the black cloud hovering over her about the racism and the bullying and the whole nine. And then on top of it, she made it worse when she left to Mexico after the pandemic and never defended the belt and never lost the belt until they stripped her and they fired her from Impact. So she left a bad taste and left a bad mark on the women's division as a woman wrestling community. And here's AEW trying to create a division. Because let's be realistic, AEW women's division has been horrendous. Because, Kenny Omega is the one running this, and he continues to try to bring in these Joshi female wrestlers from Japan for people to get to know them, to get some United States exposure. For what? Let's be realistic. For what? He brought in Riho. Riho was the inaugural AEW Women's Champion. Then Nyla Rose had the belt. Now Shida has the belt. Shida has this belt for almost a year. Not giving another American or any other wrestler from another country to win that belt. But after what we saw Wednesday, I think that door was kicked wide open, because that door got closed again when Tessa Blanchard went and got fired, and they stripped the Impact World title away from her. So what she created and what she did as the first woman to ever win a men's world title, she kind of closed it and left a grease stain on it. And Tessa Blanchard has not care about it because you haven't seen her. Nobody has signed her, and there was word that WWE want to sign her, but who knows? But after what we saw Wednesday, Thunder Rosa, who has been a female wrestler that I started following after that's when she beat Allison Kay for the NWA World Title, and I'm like, who is this Thunder Rosa? She looks awesome. Then when I saw her come in and wrestle Sheeta at All Out, and her match with Serena Deebs, I'm like, this woman is no joke, and she has been a a golden beacon for this women's division in AEW. Her and Serena Deebs, they have been great. Britt Baker has improved so much compared to when she first got signed. And again, when I saw her wrestle after her injury, maybe she was scared because remember, you break a tibia, a bone in your leg, you're very sensitive of how you move in that ring. That is why she wrestled slow in the cinematic match at All Out because she wasn't ready to wrestle with that leg. She had just broken the leg probably 3-4 months prior to that. And I know the injury because I had that same injury she had. And it was a long road for it to get back to 100% full strength. So the match, going back to the match, they went all out. I mean, they took it to another level. I never seen a wrestling match between two women who would take it to that extreme level. Okay, we're talking about, chairs involved, ladders, thumbtacks. I mean, and the fact that Britt Baker took that shot with the ladder laid out in front of her between the second and the bottom rope, and Thunder Rosa came full speed and cracked her right in the head with the ladder, busting her open, blood pouring out her head. The fact that Britt Baker went and suplexed Thunder Rosa from the top rope onto a pile of chairs, okay? And then you got, what else we saw? We saw the Thunder Rosa trying to do a Spicoli driver on Britt Baker on the ladder. She probably lost balance on that. I can't say it was botched because these girls were going at it, chair shots. I mean, the match started with Rebel getting involved, hitting Thunder Rosa with a crutch. It was just crazy. So the match being crazy and all, it was just something that you will not see this anywhere. Now my question is, what other promotion would dare put a match like this? Unsanctioned, of course, it was unsanctioned. AEW did not want to sanction that match, so therefore it kind of helped both women because even if they lost, the fact that they performed to that level doesn't hurt their record at all. Britt Baker should be the one right now going for a shot at Sheeta's belt, and if she wins it, then she's a great heel. She's done so bad. I mean, she's been a great heel ever since she turned to a heel, and this is the second time in probably a year that this woman has bled. Because a year ago, when the pandemic started, she had a match with Sheeta, and Sheeta broke her nose, and there was blood all over the place, and she sold shirts with that picture of her nose broken. And now they're selling the shirts again with her bleeding all over the place. So she doesn't care. I mean, if you saw the All Elite Dynamite exclusive, she kept saying, I hope Dave Meltzer liked that. And she said that I hope that Moxley was, proud of her because she took it to Moxley level. This was crazy. Now, if you look at any other promotions, as far as the women's division is concerned, I can't say Impact because Impact is not going to take the women's to that level. I mean, you rarely see that happen in Impact. And right now, look at the Impact is looking. It looks like they're going to be rebuilding that women's division because Jordan Grace is a free agent after May. Most likely, she may show up at AEW, but she was talking about she may go to WWE because that was her dream. She's going to find out real quick that she's going to be the flavor of the month if she does go to WWE. Then we can look at WWE. WWE has a crop of women wrestlers, NXT wrestlers, whatever. Would they take their women to that level? I don't think so, for the simple fact, number one, it's a public company. Number two, a year ago, McMahon was calling AEW, another ECW extreme, that they're blood, guts, and gory. Well, it has worked for AEW. WWE won't take it there because they stuck on the PG era, even though they say 14 and up. But do they really want to go there as far as that type of woman match? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And Mickey James said it best. Mickey James said that when it comes to women wrestling, when women are in their 40s, they already been called put out to pasture, if you want to put it that way. When men does it, they get glorified. Which again, the woman's evolution as far as the last 6 years was doing fine because WWE had the Revolution, the Four Horsewoman, whatever, in NXT, and they were moving. They were moving, and it looked like the woman wrestler was going to be something special, and WWE stalled it. You know, you got the likes of Charlotte Flair, who was me, 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 me. It's all about me, me, me. Forget about it. I won't sell it to anybody. Me, 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 me. But meanwhile, females like Tessa Blanchard, even though she is still walking around with a black cloud, she has a damaged reputation. What Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker right now did was kick down the door. They were staying with grease, you could say, or pissed by Tessa Blanchard. And now it's wide open again for women now to take it to the next level. I've never seen this type of professional wrestling match since. And I'm going to say a lot of people are going to be like, no, that's not true. Since Victoria against Mickey James in Impact Wrestling in the first cage match woman wrestling I ever seen. In which I think, honestly, that was the first cage match ever in professional wrestling between two women. Victoria was the champion, Mickey James was the challenger. And they went at it at that match, which I will recall one of the best matches ever I seen between two women in a cage. Of course, WWE then ended up following that up probably 6-7 years later with Sasha and Charlotte, the first cage match between two women in WWE history, and it turned out to be good. But I don't think any match that happened on Wednesday of any female will beat that. That match is a match of the year candidate. I don't think it's going to be a long time before anybody takes that to that level unless AEW continues to do it. I mean, a lot of females will not take the chance to go through what Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa did, because let me tell you, for the fact that Thunder Rosa went and powerbombed Britt Baker on top of thumbtacks, you got to give credit to Britt Baker for taking that bump. She had thumbtacks all on her back, on her wrestling gear everywhere. And then to top it off, she tried to put the lockjaw on Thunder Rosa around the thumbtacks, and Thunder Rosa quickly remember, wait a minute, this thumbtack, let me reverse this, put her back against the thumbtack, and she let go of the lockjaw. And the fact that Thunder Rosa went and pretty much kind of power slammed her through a table outside. So the fact that they went through a table, through a thumbtack, through ladders, chairs, you can't top this match. I don't see anybody top this match. You will have to take it to the next level to beat that match. You know, this is like a once in a lifetime match. You know, I did not see any negativity as far as this match was concerned. Everybody said that there's no way that you can say the AEW Women's Division sucks now because of this match. One match does not determine the whole division. But if this match opened doors for other female wrestlers to go and take it to that level, okay, we're talking about Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker got a standing ovation in the back for the work they did on Wednesday. Okay, well, I mean, we don't see that a lot, but the exclusive shows you, and Thunder Rosa was very emotional about this. And she said, this is what woman wrestling is all about. The woman broke down because this was a kick-ass match. Now the woman is going to go this Sunday and go wrestle against Alice Kay at the Back Attack at NWA. So this woman, Thunder Rosa, is always working. Britt Baker is the first one they signed. I mean, they still haven't been able to give her the shot that she's supposed to have. But these two women, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, coming up, they lost from that number one contention match. Shows you that, you know, who's going to top that? Who is going to top this? You know, WWE right now, their women's division, as far as the main roster, is garbage right now. And let's keep it real. These Dana Brooks, why she's wrestling, the Lanas, and Mandy Rose, who was doing so good, and they just have her teaming up with Dana Brooke. It's horrendous. Now my question is, forget about being horrendous. Who is gonna step up and take it to that level? I don't see WWE doing that, for the simple fact that PG, they're a public company, and they all about sports entertainment. They probably saw that and they were like, oh, well, I don't know if we're ever gonna do that, but this match was awesome. I don't see anyone trying to beat that. What's gonna happen now? Who's gonna go after Sheeta's belt? Would it be Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker? I don't think this Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa feud is over. It's not over. I don't think it's gonna be over. And if it is, good. And then restart it again. Whether Britt Baker wins the belt, then Thunder Rosa goes after her again, because this has been the best feud in the women's division at AEW. Again, I didn't hear nothing negative by anybody about this match. You couldn't. There was no way you could come out even saying something negative about this match, because you would have got chewed up in the internet, in the IWC. People will eat you up if you say the most stupidest thing, because a lot of wrestling fans complain about everything, and that's the problem with the business right now, especially with the fans. They complain about just about anything. Enjoy the product. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the product. Now, you got a right to complain. Don't get me wrong, because I'm one of the person that complain about WWE, because WWE it plays mind games and play and so wrestling fans intelligence. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to simple stuff, don't get into what I read the other day, that AEW has too many factions. Excuse me? New Japan has like 5 of them. Okay? Factions are good for wrestling. Groups are good for wrestling, because now you got different groups. Why are you complaining about the factions? Somebody always got something to say. Makes no sense. And then you get chewed up in the IWC community and you're like, oh, I'm getting bullied. Well, don't post stupid shit. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Don't post stupid stuff without making your research first. And then if you're going to post, make sure that you can read the thing and make sense. So it just makes no sense sometimes. But again, let's get out of, I digress, to put it that way. But this women's match in AEW pretty much opened the doors. Probably could have a Deonna Purrazzo coming in, because Deonna Purrazzo said that she wants to be the first girl to go through the Forbidden Door. I mean, no one can beat her in Impact. So her coming in and maybe challenging a Thunder Rosa and going through this type of match, it will be awesome. But again, who is going to take this, what we saw Wednesday, to the next level? And to the next level, I mean, what else are you going to do? You're going to probably have a ladder match between women going after it. I mean, it could happen. We'll see. But we will have to wait and see who is going to step up and take it to the next level. I don't see WWE going and doing something like that, because they're not all about that. They don't want no gory red blood, none of that stuff, because, it's PG. It's still in the PG era. So, but that is it, guys. Again, if you guys want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, you can follow me on my audio podcast through Spotify, Apple, who else? Amazon, Google Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. The Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You can find me. Those audios are dropped on Sunday and on Thursday, so you can follow it. Also, I have the podcast merchandise at tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and in there, once you go into the website, you can scroll down. You are going to be seeing the video. Maybe, well, today will be this video of the YouTube channel, so you can check that out. Then if you go down, you scroll down, you see the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo. If you click that, you go right into the audio podcast and all the archives from past shows that I had there. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see the shirts and the baseball cap that I have in there. So the merchandise is all there. Everything is there. You order, you get your stuff very quickly, no delays. Everything gets done quickly. So again, I'm very happy for those who have supported my YouTube channel's podcast. All 139 of you guys, let's make it 150. 150. Let's share this with friends, share this with everybody. Hit that notification bell, guys. Subscribe to the channel, share it with friends. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me your comments on the bottom of this video. Let me know what you think about this. Is this gonna open other doors for female wrestlers, for other promotions? Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna take it to the next level? I mean, again, Mickie James said it best. Women, once they hit the 40s, now they no longer used. They're expected to retire. But I think after what we saw today, I'm not today. I'm sorry, Wednesday. I think they just opened a door that now other promotions are gonna have to allow these female wrestlers to wrestle the way they want to wrestle, and they're gonna look at it as money. You know, if you guys are smart, you could do it. Especially the promoters or whatever, they could be smart. They could use it as a door to other things. I honestly think that it's gonna get better. I mean, especially with this forbidden door open with New Japan, Impact Wrestling, I'm waiting for Ring of Honor to join the party. NWA already has been joining the party, and they're about to join the party even better now with NWA back at Attack on Sunday. So guys, check that out. That's on Fight TV. So check that out. So it is what it is. But after again, hit that thumbs up on this channel, and share it with friends, and But very, very, again, before I leave, I want to thank all my subscribers and all my supporters. Again, that Wednesday match, it was awesome. I have not seen a match like that since the Victoria versus Mickie James back at Impact. I don't know what year it was. It was 2008, 2009. I could be wrong, but you guys know better than me probably if you guys do your research. But again, guys, stay safe. Again, wear that mask. 6 feet. We're almost there, crossing the line to be this crap to be over, and maybe some wrestling shows open, and we get to see more wrestling. Everything's getting back to normal. You got almost all the promotions open. You got New Japan, NWA, Ring of Honor, MLW, who else? Impact, AEW, WWE. All of them are ready rolling, and soon enough we'll be back to normal, to the way it was almost 2 years ago, and back to the fun part of seeing wrestling live. Until then, guys, be safe, wear that mask, stay 6 feet apart, and God bless.